Trump operative Roger Stone is under investigation by the Capitol Police and the FBI. This is serious business when he wants to hire a hitman to take out and rough up members of Congress. Well, what is going on here? Listen to the tape.
Peace there and go find Swalwell and get this over with. It's time to do it. Then we'll see how brave the rest of them. Either Swalwell or Nadler has to go before the election. They need to get the message. Just not putting up with this again.
So what is this? What do we just listen to? This is weeks before the 2020 election. Roger Stone sat across a table from one of his associates, Sal Greco, at a restaurant in Florida, and where Greco, who was a former NYPD cop moonlighting as security on the side for Roger Stone, discussed two House Democrats, Jerry Nadler and Eric Swalwell, and made threatening comments about them. You heard it yourself, okay? It's outrageous, saying basically it's time to do it. Let's go find Swalwell. It's time to do it. We'll see how brave the rest of them are. It's either Nadler or Swalwell. They have to die before the election. They need to get the message. Let's go find them and get it over with. They're just not putting up with it. I mean, this sounds like something out of a mafia movie. This does not sound like something would have been somebody who is literally at Donald Trump, the former president, and who might be the next Republican nominee for president. This is one of his right-hand people. Look at how he does things, okay? Let's talk about first who are Nadler and Swalwell. They're both members of Congress who serve on the House Judiciary Committee, and they're the ones who said they wanted to investigate Trump's decision to commute Stone's sentence after he was convicted of federal crimes in the Mueller-Russia probe, okay? So Roger Stone was found guilty by a jury, and he went to trial. He was found guilty. And right before he was supposed to go to serve his sentence, Trump commuted his sentence, meaning he reduced it so that Stone would never have to serve a day in prison. So he literally added and injected politics into the judicial system. And this is absolute partisanship and cronyism as opposed to the way commutations and pardons are supposed to work, which is because of merit. It's supposed to happen because the equities and justice would determine that that's what's appropriate, whether someone turned their life around, whether someone has a grave illness, whether somebody has stayed out of trouble for a long time. Who knows? There's lots of reasons why, in the interest of justice, you would commute someone's sentence or pardon them. It's not supposed to be someone like Roger Stone in this situation, right? And Stone has not liked that Nadler and Swalwell wanted to investigate this commutation for years. He did not like this, and so they've been at war for years. He hates them. And Roger Stone wants to get Trump back into office. He'll stop at nothing. And what his conviction is obstruction of justice and witness tampering and lying to Congress in the Mueller investigation. And prosecutors wanted 9 years in prison. And Donald Trump, when he was elected, he intervened through his Department of Justice. If you recall, this prompted the prosecutor. He was so mad. Aaron Zelensky was so mad that Trump was intervening in this case because it is so inappropriate that Aaron Zelensky recused himself. And in his recordings that apparently exist, we've now heard one of them, but in these recordings, Trump also urges Greco to punish this AUSA Zelensky as well. And Stone says he needs to be punished and you have to abduct him and punish him. That has to be done. It'll be easy to abduct him because he's a weakling. Of course, Roger Stone says that these are AI, these are fakes. But, listen to it yourself, see what you think. And let's just not forget who Roger Stone was, right? He was a former presidential advisor. And on November 5th, 2 days after the election, when Biden had consolidated his lead, but the election was not called, Stone was on the phone mobilizing the Stop the Steal people. He was energized. He was witnessing something very wrong with a historical perspective. That's what he said. with a historic perspective, and this was right before the election was called, and he knew that Trump lost before it was announced, but that's why they mobilized to try to steal it, right, to try to take it. He knew it, and there are memos about this. And I think that in these memos, Roger Stone dictated these memos that about this effort to storm the Capitol and what they have to do to try and steal the election. And these memos went to friends of Stone. They're called people like Enrique Tarrio, Stuart Rhodes, Ali Alexander, and these are people who all took part in the storming of the Capitol. This was a text group. This Friends of Stone, by the way, it was a text group that was used during the storming of the Capitol. So this is who Roger Stone is, and he's also has a tattoo of Richard Nixon on his back, a giant tattoo. That's who his hero is, in addition to Donald Trump. And this is a man who is now under criminal investigation to hire a hitman to take out members of Congress. So that is what's going on, and this is hopefully going to result in him going to prison finally, because he deserves it. He is terrifying. He's a scary, violent individual who reveres Richard Nixon and reveres Donald Trump and believes in violence and using violence to take out his enemies, even if they're public servants, prosecutors, members of Congress, or anybody. So he's just like a old school mafioso. I'm Karen Friedman Agnifilo. Thanks so much for joining. And listen to Legal AF every Wednesday and Saturday with my co-hosts Michael Popak and Ben Meiselas.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.